So we are looking at agile ways of working, agile mindsets, agile methodology, agile whatever. People call it different name. People call it different nomenclature. And what agile simply is a verb. To me, it's an action word. Okay, maybe. Okay, we'll still get it there. So, in response to better development of software tools, of software, a group of developers came together some few years back, and they gave us what we now know as the Agile Manifesto, Agile Standard, Agile Book of Practice. No, they call it Agile Manifesto. So don't let me just confuse you there. It's because everywhere one year you type, there's only one manifesto, and we know what manifesto means. When you talk about manifesto in Nigeria, it's an agreement between the elected and the electorate or something like that. It's an agreement to say, okay, if you do this, I will do that. I will do this for you. So the manifesto was in four folds, and then broken down again to 12 principles. We'll see those later. But in the history, again, Agile was introduced in the late 80s as a reaction to heavyweight waterfall, where you need to plan everything up front. You need to wait 6 months, 9 months down the line before you see any tangible results on your DC. So it people started thinking that no, this is a cumbersome way of working. If we get a better way, how is it going to be? So in 1994, there was a unified process, then DSM. That one is also evolving as well. All of these are all components of all of these. So we have DSDM, we have Scrum, we have Crystal, Extreme Programming, sort of agile ways of delivering value. But the main thing was this meeting in 2002, 2001 in Utah. Was it Utah that produced the manifesto by 19 developer. And what does agile mean? Like I said, to me, it simply means it is a verb, which means to be fast. So now, what do you want to be fast with about? You want to be fast about your delivery, about your thinking process, about your time to respond to. Agile is a way of thinking, a mindset, a shift from how things were done before. It's not typically a methodology, because if you look at the definition of method to me is like you must follow this. So 1 + 1 = 2. That's a method. But agile is not all about you. It's not all about that rigidity. Gives you flexibility. So it's a mindset and an attitude held by a group of people or a company that want to do things differently. We don't want the bureaucracy of passing from table to table to table before we do things. We want to decentralize decision making. We don't want to be that until when it gets to the highest authority before a small decision can be made. We want to distribute decision making so that it trickles down. They want to have a flat kind of structure whereby supposedly everybody's almost at the same level, but we still know that even though within Agile the same, we still have hierarchy and stuff. But we want to bring everybody to have that sense of belonging, that sense of we are together, we can all make this happen. So it's able to move quickly and easily. That's the human. So also in business, how are we able to move quickly? Just on Friday, that was yesterday, right? Somebody cited the case of Nokia. We know Nokia that used to be the top brand in the early 20s, in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was Nokia, everything. But now, where's Nokia in the bin of history? Because they couldn't move quickly, they couldn't move easily with the new trending technology, they couldn't adapt. We were not agile, they were just stagnant on what they think they had then. They were not looking forward, they were not responding to the market. And there came iPhone, Apple, there came Samsung, and even other new phones are now springing up along the phone side. And we have other companies like that as well. So agile also means having a quick, resourceful, and adaptable character. So we are having loads of resource. We keep on banking. You can see iPhone, for example. Apple as Apple now, they have dedicated workers that keep on thinking ahead. They've thought about the product that will come out in the next 20 years. They keep banking the ideas, and then when that time comes, they pick them up and then improve upon it. So they have the quick resources and they are adaptable. So even if they have ideas for the next 20 years, that doesn't mean that once the time comes, they just pick that idea and then push it on us. No, they'll still need to refine it. They'll still need to adapt it because it's not a push market now. It's a pull market. The customer needs to dictate what they want. You need to flow with what the customer wants. If you produce anything that the customer does not want, it will backfire. And then agile means to be flexible, collaborative, and approach business in an open-minded way. And then agile means emphasizing delivering small functional parts of project early and making adjustments as needed. So instead of doing everything, you go everything, then you now give it to the client. So agile allows you to make it in piecemeal. So maybe you want to the whole circle. You first of all give a small one, Then at the end of the day, you get a big circle. That's what agile is all about. So agile, we say, is a mindset. It's a mindset. It is described by 4 values, which we call manifesto, and is defined by 12 principles, which we will look at shortly, and manifested in several practices. So here is a mindset. Yeah, it has 4 values, also known as manifestos. Manifestos. The manifesto. Then here we have 12 principles. So this manifesto is further broken down into 12 principles. Then to help in all this, so these are just theory. To help it bring it down to practical, then we now have different practices. We have different framework. So this is where we have methodologies and framework, part of which is Scrum, part of which is Kanban. We have XP. XP is extreme programming. We have Scale Agile. We have so many here in this bucket as well, which we'll see shortly. So Agile in project management is just a repetition of what we have been saying since. So in bringing it out to project management, it just gives us an open mind for us to have an iterative approach. And I hope you know the meaning of iterative. So we do it in small bits, chunk by chunk, repeatedly. The process is the same, but the product may not be the same. But the process is the same. While the process is the same, does not mean that it must follow typically from A to B every time. And so, but that same process that is working for us, we just keep improving on it, and then we focus on continuous releases. We don't want to miss any release. But even while putting that in mind, we don't want to rush to release. If it so happen that any circle that we are not able to release anything, so be it. But we need to go back and have a lesson learned. What happened? Why did this happen? That we didn't have anything to produce. We didn't have anything to show. How can we prevent this? That's what Agile is all about, and that's why customer feedback is also very important. Even when we are aiming at continuous releases. If it did not happen that we didn't get the continuous release, does that mean the end of the world? No.
Yeah.
We'll still come back and say, okay, why did we not release? And then we carry on from there. And then it allows team. So by the time we are able to do this repeatedly over and over, just what we have here, repeatedly over and over, we now become resilient to change. We now know that change will not be a thing that will harm the team again. We are immune. We are ready for it. That bring it on. Any change, we'll be able to, because when we can adapt any changes, because we don't have to now go back all to the beginning of the project again. Because as we go on, every step we take, we have this one. We have customer feedback. We are meeting our customer. Look, this is what we've done so far. Are you okay with it? Says yes. We now move on to the next thing. If at this point the customer say they are okay, I will do the next one. They say they are okay, and we now do this one. They say they are not okay. Does not mean that we will not go back to all of these. It should just be these that will visit. That's why change here does not really have that kind of effect, and everybody embraces it. So difference how agile and waterfall work. So in waterfall, we've gone through how we go through all these phases one by one, from requirement to design to develop to test and then to deploy, which can take between 6 to 3 months. But now come to agile. So all of this is done in one circle to bring about a small increment. So we have here, we have requirement gathering. We gather the requirement, we move to design. In the same instance, we move to develop, we test and deploy, and then we now come to review. This review is missing here. So all of this is done within 2 weeks, most at times. So it allows between 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but most companies go for this average of 2 weeks. So most people go for this 2 weeks. So in these 2 weeks, customer will start to see some seamlessly of some results. So some result, maybe to just tell you, it doesn't mean that everything will be ready, but you start to see, this thing is coming up. But in waterfall, you don't see anything until everything has been completed. So, but here you start to see, this is what we're building. Are you okay with it? Do you have any feedback? Do you when last we met, have you also checked the market, that the market has not changed, the market trend, and then that feedback gives us confidence that we are in the right direction.
Yeah.
So that's what waterfall. That the major difference between waterfall and agile.
Can I
you want
ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yeah. In the agile, this cycle of 2 weeks, this is a sprint. I think I've asked you this question before. Well, maybe I'm putting it in a way. Let me get a clearer understanding of it. You say after this cycle, these iterative cycles, and then you do a review, and that review, perhaps the customers, the end users, perhaps are going to look at it, and that is, you use the word pull. So I am looking at, because I am thinking that there there may be you may have a big project, and the little chunk you have put in here for these 2 weeks, it may not have formed something sensible to the customers, or for them to make a review on. May not have come something they appreciable or something they will understand. How would they give you review?
Yeah. So what it is that now it depends on what you say, what you're working on, and how you are working on it. So it does not mean that the customer has to be there at every these 2 weeks. Somebody representing the customer might be maybe the product owner representing the customer, or even the customer. If the customer is there, even though if it's just a piece of paper that we produce, that we're moving ahead, is something.
Okay. Okay.
It's something that, okay, look, we've been able to have brainstorming sessions, brainstorming meeting, and we've come up with this draft that says, okay, this is all our requirements. We've got everything now. So you want to look at it to see that, oh, this is okay, this is fine, this is, in waterfall here, you wait, you gather all your requirements and stuff. See, it's the same thing here. Just the requirement alone can be an increment here. So don't get it wrong. It's not until when you produce something tangible, something that you can feel or you can listen. Even common agreement is an increment. So do not discard any form of, even forming a team is a positive in this, in that, oh, at last we've been able to form this company. We've been able to get resources in all directions. Like the project are on now, they are still looking for Scrum Masters. They just interviewed for 10 Scrum Masters this year. The whole team, they're all like, they still don't have the headway. That's and if at the end of the day we now have the squad completed and this thing, we just say that is a progress. So it does not mean that, oh, I want to produce this laptop, and in the first 2 weeks I've produced the front, I'll come and show you. It may not be to that extent. So every piece of information, every piece of achievement, that was in Agile, I said celebrate little wins, no matter how the wins is. Even if you just make a breakthrough, it's part of the 2 weeks, what you showcase. So does that help?
Of course, it does. You just said something. It's not. I was looking at a complete, a full specimen,
No.
but it may even be something theoretical.
Yes.
It's not even something physical. So
that we've moved from where we used to be, and ensure that we move ahead. We've now known the project more. So yes, everything. Does not mean that, oh, because we want to produce the car then we'll not give you the tire in the first 2 weeks. No, we will not give you anything yet.
Thank you. That is a good example.
Yeah. So again, this is just another picture. So here are the manifestos. As we said, manifestos, they are 4 in number. Like I said, there were 17 developers that met in Utah. I think the place is called Utah. And then they came to give us these manifestos, where some people also call values. So the manifesto is those. Therefore, again, after looking at the whole concept and everything, they now say, look, we like it the way business has been done, but here's what we think can work for us as developers. Excuse me. We want to value. So the ones in black, they are our desire, but that doesn't mean that the ones in red are totally thrown out. These are the ones in red are the ones that have been followed by waterfall, where you have process and tools. So waterfall is about the process, the tool. You must follow the process. You must, even though the process is killing you. But here now, Ayaja is saying, look, take a back step. Let it be about the individuals first of all, and the interaction between us. Then we can now decide on what process and tools we're going to use. Do not force process and tools down our throat. Let it be more of the people than
the product.
than the process. We're not saying the process and tools are totally going to be thrown out, but we do value the interaction between individuals over just saying this Jira, continue working, this other level, continue working. You must go from point A to point B to point C. If it's going to be better to go from point A to D to come back to point B, so be it. Let us say, you know that you say you must follow from A to point B to point C. So we want in individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So this is just what it's saying. So the Agile Manifesto established a set of 4 values. So either you call it manifesto or 4 values, saying we weight this over this. This is also good, but this is desirable. This is good, but this is desirable. We want interaction between individuals to supersede, to have more weight than the processes and tools that we're going to be using. And then the second one as well says we want to have a working software over comprehensive documentation. So this working software, the language used there is the language of what? Developers. So I used to tell everybody that I come with that this working software you can substitute it with solution. Solution, product, sample, or whatever. So a working sample, a working solution, a working product over comprehensive documentation, just as we have in HS2. Documentation has taken over how many years? They're going to document life history and everything, but still no any solution in sight, no any working product, no any sample. Why documentation is good? Documentation, nobody says documentation is not good, but you cannot keep documentation, and then you're not even trying to say, okay, this is now you are documenting. Is there any sample? Is there anything for us to even fall back to say, okay, based on the documentation that we have, why can't we work together as you are documenting into documentation? Let there be in individual interaction to produce a working sample. Then the next one says we want customer collaboration. So customer and the team, they collaborate over contract negotiation. Waterfall is about negotiation a contract. Anybody signs off, and that is it. So we're not saying, yes, contract negotiation there, you need to cross the T's, dot the I's, you need to make sure that this, but we want a continuous relationship with the customer, with the client, rather than just signing a contract and then zooming off. Then we want to respond to change over a structured plan. We want our team to be open-minded, not to be closed-minded. We want us to say, oh, at any point in time, we are ready to respond to change. We're ready to take on whatever it is. So just like the Nokia example that we cited, they did not respond to change. They did not respond to what the new market entails, and where are they today in the bin of history. And we have so many other companies like that. So as an agile team, part of being agile, part of the agility is to be ready for change, no matter how late in the project is, which we'll see later. So these are the 4 manifestos, which as a Scrum Master, you need to be able to define these. You need to be able to explain this at any time. And this also will be our core reference. That's as a team that I'm working with in my team, I'm the Scrum Master getting the process. Do I allow or do I give room for the team to have interactions over telling them, no, put it on Jira. You must put, yes, it will go on Jira at the end of the day. But before getting to on Jira, what has happened? What was the in interaction, and then working software. So in Agile, there's this misconception that there is no documentation. No, there's documentation, but documentation is minimal one, and the documentation is more of factual, graphical. So the documentation could be in form of burn down chart, which we will see much more later on. So simple evidence that we are working, not documentation for history, for this one, from what. So those documentation, they just kill time. Then we have customer collaboration, which is very, very essential. Very, very, very essential over time. I'm sure even in waterfall now, I'm sure they will have changed the way they interact with customer.
Yes.
It will have changed over time because there's that need that customer to have feedback at all time. Because if not, you'll be flying blind, and any small mistake can one mistake is made small. To start getting big, start getting big, start getting big, start getting big. And before you know what's happening, the whole thing is derailed. Then we are open-minded. We wait any time that change is coming on because we're not afraid of change. So these are the 12 principles. So these 12 principles are further broken down from these four interactions. So what I would like you to do is maybe before our tomorrow meeting, I want you to look at the 12 principles and then map them to the four manifestos.
Okay. Okay, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you.
Yeah. The slide before this one, the previous slide before, not this, the previous. Yeah, I like. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I also have an observation. I think one of the things the Agile what they did to make them sell off is to draw line by line comparison with the traditional method, which is the waterfall. And they just touch our common sense. Every common sense will know that, yeah, individual interaction, compare it to. They didn't say that waterfall is not good, no, but they put it side by side. And when you use your common sense and look at it, oh wow, this is true. Yeah. I think they use that to win a lot of people. That's what I think, and which is true because individuals, and their interaction is very important. Because I noticed that when the team they are happy and they are relating with each other, they tend to work even without even saying anything, with eye like that. They send signal. But whereby they are not interacting and everything, or even they are not speaking, they are not communicating. You will say something, another person understand different thing. I think this is good. It will be easier for me to store this thing the way it makes sense.
Yeah, so you can search www.agilemanifesto.com. www.agilemanifesto.com. So they're just saying that, look, waterfall is good. They're not saying what, but just look at it this way. What about if you are so fixated on process and tools? It's going to hamper individuals and it's going to hamper people in interacting. So we're just coming to work like zombie, process and tools. But no, we want to have work-life balance. So we will see that when we get to the principle, because we're going to break it down. So the principles. So here are the 12 principles derived from the four manifestos, from the four values. So the first one says we want our highest priority is to satisfy customer through early and continuous delivery of value software. So like I say again, this value software can be replaced by results, by delivery of results, products, solution. So
Solution.
that's our principle. That one of our principles is that we want to, at the earliest stage, we want to deliver value. That's why within 2 weeks, we want to start making our customers smile.
Yeah.
And then we want to what? Continuously do that. We don't just want to do after 2 weeks, then we stop. No, we want to have a team that we're able to deliver continuously. So the second value said we welcome change requirement even late in the development. So agile process harnesses change for the customer's competitive advantage. So here we are saying that look, bring it on as so. For example, like I said before, if we're working on developing this thing for you, and then we have been working together, and the last time you now went and you went to the market to go and see that, oh, the idea that you're able to somebody has done it, somebody has that you want to like tweak it. Yes, you come back at our next review or even within with as soon as possible. You let us know that, oh, I think this has changed. For me, instead of adding XYZ, I want to ask WXYZ because I want to have a competitive advantage. It's all about competitive advantage because if you don't have competitive advantage, you will not go far. Nokia did not have the competitive advantage when other phones came in and they went out. Today, iPhone, Apple is on the watch out, spending a lot of money, doing a lot of research, doing a lot to make sure that they always have the competitive advantage. They want to have a sharper video. They want to have face interaction. They want to have and then you see them partnering with other companies as well that will enhance the usability of
quality of
their
the
product.
products.
Yes. So that's the advantage, the competitive advantage we're talking about. And then if we are producing your product for you and you find out that this will give me an edge, yes, come to the team and we will accept the change. We'll look at it together and then we'll be able to tell you, okay, this what it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. I will carry on from there. Then want to deliver working software frequently, want to deliver solutions frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with preference to the shorter time scale. So we want to shorten the time to market. We want to shorten the time to market. That's part of our principle. Then the fourth one says business people and developers working together daily throughout the project. So we don't want to work in silos. We don't want to work where developers will develop, then people will come and test. We don't want business people, but the developers here is the team, the organization on one hand, the business people are maybe the boss on top, and everybody working together as one team and bringing about solutions. Then the fifth one say we want to build project around motivated individuals. And how can you have motivated in individuals when it boils down to valuing their individualisms and in their interaction? If you don't value their individualism and interaction, you will not have what? You will not have motivated individuals. And if you don't have a motivated individual, you will not have a motivated product. Your product will have a lot of technical debt.
Yes.
Your product will have a lot of callbacks. Your product will not smile. But when you have smiling people, your product will smile. And you can achieve this by giving them the environment and the support they need. And then you give them what? Trust. You trust them. You don't micromanage them. So Agile is all about trust. You don't micromanage people. They say, oh, do this, do that. You didn't do this yesterday. You didn't. No. You need to let them.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. I. I'm fancying this. I'm fancying this very well because one of the things that are prevalent, even where I'm working, is all those deadline. You have to finish here. Can you work under pressure and all those things? Um, I think this agile doesn't encourage working under pressure. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't encourage working under pressure, because working under pressure means you've done something wrong somewhere
Yeah.
before you became under pressure. You became pressure. That means something has been wrong somewhere. Because
Yeah.
if along the line you have been interfacing with the right component of people,
Mm.
the one working under pressure will not necessarily come
Yeah.
as much as it can, but it's not a total rule out that. But before you start to work under pressure, that means something somewhere did not go according to plan. That's what it means, and that's what Agile is trying to avoid by
Mm.
having interactions, feedbacks, open-minded. So under pressure can be as a result of people not being open-minded, people not sharing when they have issues. And then we now find out that at the tail end that these guys have been having issues. They could not work. They could not do this work. We now become under pressure. But if everybody have been
Yeah.
given that enabling environment, that fair this in that we see each other as equals, and we are able to look, that the code I was supposed to write, I could not write it. No blame game. I could not write it.
Yeah.
So the code is so difficult for me. And then you don't say, oh, but you said you're an engineer. You said on your CV that you could do this. When there's no blame game, people will be truthful, and then we'll be able to quickly resolve, quickly see where we are going wrong, and then quickly resolve. And thereby, in most cases, or the likelihood of us going under pressure may not occur. But again, don't get me wrong. No matter what, at times, even when you think you've done everything, there could still be some instance where you have to work under pressure somehow. But in that instance, you know that yes, you've done everything, and it will not be like how it will have been working in waterfall environment.
Yeah, I think waterfall environment, there are more of it. There's not an interface of having. There's something like Scrum Master in waterfall environment, where Scrum Master will be trying to protect, interacting with the team, trying to make them stable in their
Yeah,
mindset and everything. Because one of the things I don't like, which I've also seen in some places I've worked in the past, is that a job, is one of the things I don't like, even where I'm working now, although it's not very much like that now. I have some project managers. So, and when they put up a job that they know they quoted for 4 days, and they'll assign it to you to finish the job in 3 days.
can you
The job
imagine?
that, yeah, the job that should be for 4 days, they assign it to you, give it to you, expecting you to
Can
finish
you
it on under
imagine?
3 days.
That's wrong. Typically
Yeah,
wrong.
so even if you see yourself working out, and I know whereby we have a scrum master or your product owner, they observe somebody. I don't think they're going to push the
Yeah,
team that way. Rather, they will look up and speak to the owners or the organization, letting
that
them know
look,
that no,
no,
you got
this is
to
not
you
right.
got to do it this
My
way.
team cannot go at this rate unless you want them to be born out, and then
Yeah, yeah,
you want your work not to even be done, and then you're able to back it up with at least your team. You've been with them for a while. And even if you don't have ready-made data, you say no. Let us try. We're not going to rush this thing. We're not going to rush it. We're not going to go swallow everything. We need to take it piecemeal. Unless we're not using agile mindset. We're not working in agile mindset. If we are, this is how it is. Because for them to hire a scrum master, that means they are typically telling you that they are open for agile mindset. So, and then you let the scrum master do his or her work. So the sixth one says the most efficient and effective way of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. That is what Agile really likes. Face-to-face conversation. Since when we work, let us see each other. Let us see each other. See, right?
You must be a smart guy then. You know, there was a question I asked you in our first meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a question I asked you in the first meeting. I asked you that because is he going to be working from home? Because I saw that face to face. Face to face, that's the most the best way, the effective way of communicating within the team or whatever, face to face. And my mind just went straight physical. It doesn't occur to me that face to face can also be under visual using this means.
Yeah.
And that was why I asked you that question. You say you have not gone to work for. Because I was thinking face to face, that means you're going to go to work every day and then do the stand-up meeting. He said, no, they use this is the way you do it. So I understood that better. That's why I asked you that question, because I saw this face to face.
Yeah, face to face. And that's what all this technology are trying to portray now. Face to face. So now what are you doing? We're doing face to face.
Face to face, yeah. Yeah, face to
We're doing
face.
face to face. So that's what we encourage at work, that even when you are doing virtual this thing, let it be more human, this face to face like this. At least we can see our facial expression. And then once a while, we can see the whole body, we can come together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so while the face to face is they were referring to here is everybody being in the same room. But over time, things have evolved, things have changed, and better ways of doing things that we know that okay, everybody is not the engineer that will actually do the work. So we can see this kind of face to face virtually, which at least it is working. It is working.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then the seventh one says working software is the primary measure of progress. So working software, going back to this, we talk about valuable software. We talk about here too. I think here, then going back to this, the same thing. So working software is the primary source of a primary measurement of progress. So don't get it wrong, don't get it mixed up. Two keywords here, working software and then primary. That doesn't mean that every other form of progress is not recognized. So there are different progress in each team. So we can have individual progress, team progress, company progress. So individual can gain within maybe this thing, what I don't know before. And in working together, I've known it. I don't know JavaScript to an extent before, but now I know Java. That's a progress, but it's personal to me. But and then team as well as I say, oh, our progress could be okay. This a new team we started to form. I'll be norm, and then we are knowing each other better. That's a progress. But at the center of this all, are we producing a satisfying customer feedback? In the sense that are we satisfied? Because even if the team is progressing and this thing, but we are not producing that core value to the customer that is paying, because every sprint, every two weeks is paid for by the customer, supposedly. So are we delivering on that value? So which is the core primary measure of progress? All other ones are secondary, but they are also very important. But our product goal, as it were, is the primary measure of progress. Are we achieving our product goal? Are we working towards achieving our product goal? Then the eighth one says, agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, the developers, and users must be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. So let me explain this one. So we have a team now, and that's where Scrum Master comes in again very well. We have a team, and then you are pushing the team, produce. That is not sustainable.
Yes.
The team will crash land at some point. But now you have another team that say, okay, yeah, we are new on this project, let us start small, let us see how the thing goes, and then we now start to build. By the time we now know our capacity, we'll now be flying at that capacity. Rather than just going up and then crash landing. We are going rapidly, we are going up, then when we build, we now have that sustainable. So the key word there is sustainable and then constant pace. But this indefinitely as well is neither here nor there, because there's no team that goes on indefinitely. You still have to tweak some things at some point at this in bed. Sustainable in the sense that we are not undervaluing ourselves. So if we can produce 10, but we are producing 5, we are cheating the organization, which is also not good, which is also not sustainable. But we want to be able to produce the maximum while we have work-life balance. Then the ninth one says, continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. So this is us professionally owning ourselves accountable. And then we pay continuous attention to technical excellence in all areas, and then good design to help. Then simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. We keep it simple. We're not adding what is not supposed to be added. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. So we don't add to what is not. Keep it as simple as the customer has said it. Even though the customer has not said technical terms, let it be those English words that they have used. Don't bring technical jargons to confuse everybody or to make things harder. We want to keep it as simple as it is. It is possible. Yes. So, and the 11th one said, the best architect requirement and design emerge from self-organizing team. We've talked about trust. So self-organizing team is the one that builds themselves. So even as a Scrum Master, you are not even regarded as part of the team. You are regarded as an external body to them. But by and large, everywhere I've worked, we're all seen as one. But you see yourself as helping them, the developers, to have self-organized organization, in the sense that they don't run to you every time they need something. Every time they need any small thing, they run to you. You help them to be able to solve some of their problems. They're the ones that they can't solve without discussing together. So that's what we call self-organizing. They are self-mature, they are doing things. And then the last one's talking about regular intervals, team reflects. This is talking about our retro. Retro. So after all that we have done in 2 weeks, we come together to say, how did we do in these 2 weeks? So what can we improve on? And then how can we adjust how we do? And then to make sure that we are working sustainably at constant pace. So those are the 12 principles. I can see it's like you are tired already.
I don't know how it happened, but I'm stretching myself.
Okay, maybe we just stop there. Then we'll take it off from here tomorrow, if that is okay by you.
I can move on. I'm getting my strength. I can move on, please.
Okay, that's fine anyway. Yeah, that's fine. So next thing we're going to just look at is, benefit of agile, which we'll be talking about since we'll be talking about most of them. So mostly what I have there is inexhaustive. We have more control. By this more control, what does it mean? Because when you start doing something over and over and over again, you become like a master of it. Supposedly, you are supposed to be. So you have control. You're able to say, okay, based on this, I can give you a projection. Then we have better and greater productivity. So when agile enhances collaboration at all area, at all things, we have better productivity, and then it brings about high customer satisfaction as against what other for. Customer will be happy early and they'll be happy continuously. Happy early is one thing, they're happy continuously because they are involved. They also have a sense of belonging. They have a sense of pride that look, I'm part of this because we did. Unlike the other one, when customer is out of it, they just go and build and then they bring it to you. But here, customer feels is also part of it, and then it brings satisfaction all the way. Then there's higher return on investment, either you like it or not. It brings higher return on investment because it brings what shorter time to market.
Yeah, and even the customers. Sorry, and even the customers themselves, I feel part of the deal. You know, he claims ownership because he's involved into it. They got to do everything to kind of patronize it, and they'll be happy to make sure that the thing sells because they are part of it, something like that. You know, it's like taking a photo in a class. You come and call the whole class and take a photo. You know, that particular photo, everybody, because they are there, everybody want to buy the photo, because he's represented, his interest is there, and all this. So they have higher return investment because customers are satisfied and they feel belong.
And because it leads to faster time to market.
Yes.
But this is also under it has some caveats or some criteria. Faster time to market may not happen in all cases. So, for example, if you have a Scrum team that is immature and they refuse to mature, you may not have faster time to market. So it's Scrum Master that will help the team to see that, look, we're not just at one pace. Because you are given the autonomy, you are given the decision to do things by yourself. Does not mean that you should not be doing. If you can do 30 and you are doing 15, you're not helping. You are not that you're not helping. You are cheating. So it is Scrum Master that will be able to help the team, and we know our capacity. We can deliver on 30. Why are we doing 15? So if this is the case, you may not have time. You will not have considerable time to market here. But if team gets on their toe, they started slow, but over time they pick up, then we can have faster time to market with quality. Then challenges of agile ways of working, or maybe is it challenges? Yeah. So constant training and upskilling, just as you're doing now. So it involves constant training and upskilling every time. You need to keep up. You need to keep up. You need to keep up. You can't just rest on your own and say, oh, I'm there. You know, right now I'm doing something in Jira. I want to become a Jira administrator. Wow. I have to be reading and reading again and stuff. So everything. So you need to keep upskilling. And then scalability can be difficult to larger complex projects. So Agile is best practice when you have individual teams. When it now becomes a scaled Agile, is very cumbersome, just like we have in our organization, where we have cadence, we have program level, domain level, group level, and stuff. So, but if you're able to take it a piecemeal at a time, it's also but could take time, just as we have been doing now for the past 2 years. It's still not there. It could take time, but results are coming in, results are there. But the scaling part of it is what, because we now have what we call Scrum meeting, where we have all the Scrum masters in each team meeting, and so there are many dependencies, there are many intertwining, but so it could become very, very cumbersome if care is not taken. Then
so when you say scalability, I'm trying to understand that word scalability, because
you are trying to scale it up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. That's
okay.
Scaling.
Okay.
So we used to have one individual team. There's one team here, two team, another team, another team. You now want to bring all the teams together to form a program. You have different projects. You now want to have a program.
Wow.
So just if like 3 or 4, 5 of us can form a Scrum team and be working and be delivering results. But when we now have to be in association with other teams as well, that's where that's what we call scale. And then that's what I want to say. Then there's a time you have unclear roles and responsibility, just like I said before. So the clear responsibility within Scrum says there's a product owner, there's a developer, and there's a Scrum master, and the developers. So within those developers now, you can have various rules, various developer this thing. So at times, see, there's duplication of work. Yeah. So now you now need to start to define. Now need to start to clear that. Look, this person is doing the same person this work, and then resistant to change. So people are very resistant to change. They don't want to change from their old ways of working, the waterfall ways of working. They want to remain there and be just come to work and be going and stuff. And even doing the hard work, even why it is even harder there, because by the time you change to agile way of working, maybe in the first few months or year, it can be so kind of daunting. But when you get into it, find out that it's even easier working in agile way than in waterfall. Then maintaining quality while working at fast pace will be something daunting. Yeah, working at fast pace, but you need to maintain quality. And that's what agile is all about. Time to market, fine, but not time to rubbish. Not time to market rubbish, or not bring rubbish to the market. We want faster time to market, but we also want to work on our quality. So all of these, you need to keep an eye. So those are becoming the challenges of agile ways of working. Then these are, we talk about methodologies and framework again. So another thing I wanted to do is just to check for the two meanings. So we have different agile methodologies and agile framework. While some are said to be framework, some are methodology. Let me see. I think okay. Within the agile, the term framework and methodology are often interchangeable, but they are in fact different. So agile is a philosophy. We have this framework and we have this methodology. Methodology means 1 plus 1 will always be 2. But when you have a framework can tell you that 1 plus 1 can become 11. If you put this 1 and 1 by the side, it can also be equal to a longer 1. When you put this on top of this, when you put this 1 on top of this 1, you get a longer 1, or it can become 2. So whatever method, whatever area you want to follow, but if it's a method, we tell you that no, 1 plus 1 will always be equal to 2. And so I think that's what a framework, difference between a framework and methodology. And the best known framework in the whole universe is what? is skeleton. Think about skeleton as a framework. So the skeleton is our framework covered with different flesh. Some people have more flesh. You can bend the framework. You can twist it, but don't break it. It's when you break it that you get pain. When you break it, that you get pain. We'll soon end up in the next 5 minutes. I can see that you're really tired.
Yeah.
It's when you break this.
I'm sorry you are saying it. Sorry. I was studying since 2 o'clock. I woke up.
Oh,
I've been busy. Yeah.
the Lord will crown your efforts.
Amen.
So these are some of the methods and framework. So Scrum is a framework, Kanban is a framework, Scrum Band. So the combination of these is basically is what most people use. Scrum Band. They don't call it Scrum Band. They just say they use Scrum, Kanban. Then we have Agile Project Management. We have Prince 2. We have all of so just like the video that we watch at the
Yeah,
beginning
watch.
of all. Yeah, so it's all rounded there. Then we have so many other ones, extreme programming, acceptance, all these they may be just something one line that you do it at the place of work, because like test driven development is just like maybe you design your test based on the development of what you're building. So they're kind of I don't usually explain it because me too, I don't know them in depth. User as a experience design, which you can do. You can do all of these in one, as in when you're doing when your team they are working. So I don't know why they now brought them out in individually. So it's neither here nor there. So we have different frameworks. Then we have some methodologies as well. So so in a nutshell, to go over what we've done again today, we've said agile is a behavior, is a mindset. So but people try to say methodology, which I don't support. Agile is not a methodology, it's just a mindset, a behavior, which has 4 values or manifestos that we've seen: individual interactions over process and tools, collaboration over contract negotiation, response to change over following a plan, respect for people. I don't know where they got this respect for people from. So, and it has 12 principles. We've seen about transparency, expression, adaptation, empirism, trust, eliminating waste, delivery for fast feedback, building quality, build organizational knowledge, optimism for the whole. Then we have it has many practices and behaviors, value value centered, users centered. So some of these principles, some of these framework can be value centered, but the ones that excel most are the ones that are user centered. Then we have different framework. We have XP, we have Scrum, we have Kanban, we have Save. I'm sure you've heard of Save before. Scale Agile. Scale Agile. This is just scaling this Scrum, just as we have designed, we have talked about now. So that's just what Agile is all about. It's a mindset, it's a framework which keeps everybody open-minded, keep everybody coming to work. Let us say that we are almost at the same level, even though we know you are the owner of the organization, but see everybody as a partner to getting to where we are. So in conclusion, agile methodologies and framework are, so I say I don't like to use agile as method, but it has methodologies and framework are
Agile mindset.
effective process for team looking for flexible approach to product management. It's no longer exclusive to software industry. So before, because it was developed by software industry, software people, it can be implemented to any business virtue that requires a non-linear, that requires a non-waterfall plan of attack. I think I need to change some of these words. I don't like this word attack. Of approach that also needs to value customer. So that's what we just said now. Customer value, customer centered, and then customer value collaboration, team effective teamwork, and responding to change, and of course, quality results.
Results, which is the main thing.
Yeah, we don't want to throw out quality results at the end of it all. So that is what Agile is all about. So next thing we're going to be now diving in is going to be Scrum proper. We're going to be going into Scrum proper. So these are just not a part of the. So we're going to go into Scrum proper from tomorrow. We look at the Scrum framework, and then we look at who is a Scrum Master.